Hello and welcome back. Understand you had a couple of questions. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration the other day and you were able to get something out of it. I understand there's a question about the dark web, and I wanted to come back and show you a couple other things that our tool does and maybe clarify a couple of things from the other day as well. So I'm going to open up Digital Evidence Investigator here, and you'll see that I've completed an intermediate general profiling search profile on a pretty heavily used computer here. Now what I'm going to show you can be done, and it is done in our quick profiles. I just wanted to do an intermediate one and get some more information in here and just show you that in a short amount of time you can really gather a lot of information within a triage and be able to bring this case to a close. So where I want to focus here is under our applications category. Under our captures application, we have anti-forensic traces. And this is where your dark web traces come in. And one of the ones I'm going to focus on today, probably one of the most that you're looking at, especially in a triage, would be Tor browser, right? So we got to remember it's triage. We're not doing a deep dive. We're not looking to extract things that won't help us make a decision up front, but we can point to and help your case later, help you put your case together. So in anti-forensic traces, if I select that category, you can see the keywords that were run here. So the first being the keyword .tc, and we have kill disk. There's a program for stopping running files. You can see that there's one file associated with that. Acronis, BC wipe, best crypt. There were 3 hits on that. Those were in browsing history. So you'd be able to come in here, and the excerpts show you the keyword and then what's around the keyword. Here, so page title and then the URL, and it looks like it was a search involving that. We have blowfish. So you see BC or CCleaner, right? We all know CCleaner is that anti-forensic tool that goes through and wipes and cleans out everything. So there's 29 files that were located, or 25 records that were located for CCleaner, and 7 of them are files. And if I click on the files, you can see it highlights each one of them. So I have CCleaner exe, the home page, the link files, the prefetch, and here's another internet file as well. So 7 files that have the name CCleaner in it. Browsing history. So there's 12 individual browsing records for CCleaner. And if I select that, you can see I have my records there. We have some form data. Evidently a form was filled out and CCleaner was one of the answers. Installed. It's showing that it's an installed application. CCleaner has been installed. There's 5 recent file entries for CCleaner there. So those would be link files. And then it's been searched for 3 times. So just look at the way we lay out our keywords here for CCleaner files, and then we give you the tables that the keywords were located in. So not only the files, but it's in browsing history, it's installed, and it was searched for. Probably installed or downloaded a long time ago, as we don't see the download, but you can tell that CCleaner would be an issue on this computer. So as I start coming down here, you see we have a Tor browser, and there's 10 records for that. So 2 files, and I can see that it's for Tor browser and the start Tor browser link file, and you can go to your properties and see where it is. It's installed on the desktop. Application usage. I'm showing 2 times that the application had been started here. So Tor browser, you can see the location where the keyword was found. I can go into the properties here, and it's the application Tor browser, and if Tor browser uses Firefox as its base, so you can see the executable for Firefox was started. There's browsing history for it. Whoever was looking for Tor browser did some research on it, right? And then there's recent file entries for that, showing that Tor browser has been used. So you can see under excerpts, there's your keyword, and then it gives you some context before and after, showing that the Tor browser and the profile had been accessed here. Below that is Tor exe, so there's your executable to run Tor, and you can see the executable file and you can see the prefetch file, meaning that Tor has been started, right? So if you're looking for those dark web programs, those dark web keywords, this is the way we would do it in these traces captures, or you could bring in your own keywords. You could add to these traces. I'll show you that here in a little bit. But not only here in the keywords, now if I have a time, so let me just switch over here, and I can see I have a couple different times here. The last time that it was run was on the 15th at 12:12. If I select that, it's going to bring me into my timeline. So from yesterday, the timeline is all the individual records and the files all together, meshed together in one timeline format that can be filtered and create your own based on activities. But if I go to here where the prefetch file was, if I look above, I can see, Firefox starting, I can see Tor starting, and if I just scroll down a little bit, we're still at the same time, 12:12 to 12:14, I start seeing some images. Now we know Tor erases the download history, it erases the history of where you've been, but there's nothing else that's started in between. There's no other browsers. If this was done in Firefox, or if it was done, not the Tor Firefox, but regular Firefox, Chrome, any of those, you would see the download start, download finished. You would see link files created, but because they're using Tor, all that isn't happening, but you are seeing the image here in a user created folder, and maybe you can figure out where it came from just by the name on these, but you can start seeing these. So very good indicators for a triage that you could point to and say, hey, we have some dark web stuff, so when you're done with your triage and it goes to the examiner, this is all the stuff that you're putting together early that the examiner can now look at and really help them get along on their case. Very quick, very fast, and you're able, to put it together. We're not just saying, hey, Tor's on that computer, go figure it out yourself. We're saying, yeah, Tor's on here. Here's when it's been started. Here it is in a timeline. And here's some other artifacts. Here's your CCleaner. Here's all this other information, all in one location. While I'm here, I wanted to mention yesterday that we do make an inventory of every file and folder that is on that device that you're scanning, regardless of whether it gets collected or not. So you always have every file and folder in this listing. And just give me a second here. Pause that. And you can see there's 584,851 files in this device that was scanned. It's 256 gig, 250 gig Dell. So again, there's all the files and folders. You can end up going through that. Timeline. Let me go back to summary and show you these traces. Anti-forensic traces, cloud storage files, cloud storage traces, remote access traces. So now let's say there are some new files that you want to look for. There's some new applications that you want to look for that maybe aren't in here. So The easy way for you to do this when you have I'm going to quit this. That was a live scan on a live Windows machine. So now I'm going to go to the desktop version of the tool, right? That's the installed version. We ran that one from the USB device. Okay, let me drag this in here for you to see. All right, you can see it wants to back up those scans that I did. But when you're setting up the scans, when you're going out and you want to scan for what you're looking for, right, we can customize. You're not limited. You could bring in whatever you want to scan. So if I was in, let's say I wanted to run a quick child exploitation, I can copy this, or I can start from scratch, but we're going to copy here. And I'm going to go up to my applications group and anti-forensic traces. I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to copy it. And it's still going to be in the same group, but I'm going to call it anti-forensic updated. And you can add your own keywords here. So if I had a whole new list of keywords that I want to bring, I can enter them one by one. Or I could bring in my own list by importing a new list of keywords. And if you look below, this is how we're searching for these keywords. It's file and folder names. So as it makes that listing of every file and folder that's on the device, it's going to run the keywords against that listing very fast. You'll see results quick. And then it's looking in the artifact records from other captures. So that's where we're getting the browsing history, we're getting the installed applications, we're getting the recent files, we're getting the prefetch, right? Because it's taking that keyword and running it against each individual record that's been parsed out. So you can make these keyword lists larger, you could bring in your own, you can create your own category. Okay, if I didn't want to change this one, I can go to new capture, and this is all easy to learn. I could search for keywords, bring in my own list, where I want to search for it, what type of files I want to search it against. Really helps you zero in on what you want. So I kind of hit on the dark web. I went in a little farther about how our keywords work, that you can actually bring in more keywords. So like I said, if there's another program that maybe you see a lot of and the rest of the world doesn't, or there's something that you feel is missed, we can always add that for you as well, but you can add to your keyword lists. And what we do is with anti-forensics, like you have the dark web in there, you have anti-forensic tools in there, you have encryption in there, so your VeriCrypt, your TrueCrypt, and we have it all under one heading, so we're not running the keyword list multiple times. It's in one nice category, and it's going to make your scans run faster. So I hope this helps. Any more questions, please feel free to ask us anything about the tool to help you understand a little better. We're here to help. Thank you for your time.